If I told you China is slowly making the world not need the dollar anymore, would you believe me? Not with war, not with missiles, just with gold. If you want to know what we, ordinary people in America, should do to protect our savings, stay with me until the end of this video. So why did the world even start having a problem with the dollar? Until a few years ago, everyone thought the dollar was the safest money in the world. But in 2022, something scary happened. The US froze about $300 billion of Russia's money with just one political decision. That's when everyone realized something important. Money that lives inside the dollar system isn't really yours. The dollar is powerful, yes, but it can be frozen. And that's where gold came back into the picture. Gold can't be printed. It can't be hacked. And you can't turn it off with sanctions. That's why central banks, especially in Asia and developing countries, started buying gold like crazy. But what really changed the game was China's big move. What did China do? It didn't just buy gold, it built a system. The Shanghai Gold Exchange became the largest physical gold market in the world. And then China launched a creative idea, something called the Gold Corridor. So what does Gold Corridor mean? Imagine a network of gold vaults across different BRICS countries. In that network, every gold bar, you know where it is, you know who owns it, and you know how pure it is. Not everything is stored in China, and no single country can hold the others hostage. This system is basically like blockchain, but a physical version, backed by gold. So how has the US reacted to this situation? The US hasn't just been sitting around, it's bringing its gold back from London. Why? Because in the new world, gold brings power again. We're probably entering a bipolar world. On one side, gold and BRICS. On the other side, the dollar, stablecoins, and Bitcoin. And now the most important question is, what should ordinary people do to protect their money? What does the future look like? Will the dollar collapse? No, the dollar is not going to crash tomorrow, but its power won't be absolute like before. The world is moving from a unipolar monetary system to a multipolar monetary system. The dollar will still be America's main currency, but its role as the only global reserve currency is being challenged. Countries don't want to keep all their eggs in the dollar basket anymore. Meanwhile, gold is becoming a backing for governments again. The more distrust grows, the more demand for gold grows. Most Americans are not central banks that can create sanctions, and they're not policymakers who start wars. But they can do one simple thing: not keep all their assets in dollars. No extremes, no panic. Let's be honest, the American middle class can't escape the dollar, and they can't stockpile gold like governments do. Their salary is in dollars, their bills are in dollars, their life is in dollars. So the point is not to abandon the dollar. The point is to not be completely dependent on it. The first mistake is betting your entire future on a currency that the government can print whenever it wants and destroy your purchasing power. The dollar is still necessary, but only for spending, not for storing your life's work. In these conditions, keeping 100% of your savings in dollars is stupid. When governments are stockpiling gold, that means even they don't fully trust the current system. For the middle class, gold isn't supposed to make you rich. It's supposed to make sure you don't get wiped out when things go bad. And in my opinion, not a pretty ETF and an app, and not just a number in a bank account. Only real, physical gold in an amount you can actually hold and store. Because gold is like a financial seatbelt in this situation. But even more important than investing in gold is this. If the world is going to fight between the dollar, gold, and the yuan, I want my money in things that all of these systems need, like energy, food, infrastructure, and raw materials. And the most important of all is energy. The world is paralyzed without energy. What do we mean by energy? Oil, gas, electricity, uranium, and more. So the best move is investing in energy-related ETFs, shares of big, stable energy companies, and funds focused on oil, gas, nuclear energy, and infrastructure. Why? Because whether China is strong or America is strong, the world still has to stay lit, keep moving, and keep producing. Now the big question. How much money? For the middle class, not gambling, not everything. Usually 20 to 40% of your investment portion, not your entire life savings. One last point, and maybe the most brutal truth of all. Anyone with only one source of income is fragile in the new world. Someone who has skills, can earn online, and can build a second income stream is much safer than someone who only has savings. The reality is, growing income is more powerful than any gold or any stock. And finally, if you're risk tolerant, I suggest putting a small portion of your money into crypto, only as insurance outside the system, not gambling, not dreaming. Today's discussion is not about whether China wins or America wins. It's about the fact that the era of blind trust in one single currency is over. And in this new world, the people who understand it sooner get hurt less. If you watched this video until here, it means this topic matters to you. I'd really like to know what you think. Do you think the future is moving toward gold? Or does the dollar still have the final word? If you were an ordinary person, what would you do to protect your money? Write a comment. Let's talk. And if this video was useful for you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care of your money. See you next time.